Hello, I'm Bood and welcome to the channel. If you're brand new, hopefully by the end of the video you'll become a subscriber. If you're already a subscriber, as always, thanks for checking out one of my videos. Hopefully you'll all smash that thumbs up, help the YouTube algorithm get my video out there, get my channel out there. I really do appreciate all the support. And if you really want to support my channel, you can always become a patron. You find a link to that and everything else down below in the description. Now, this video is a bit of fun. A bit of fun you can have with the editor. Now, some people are scared to go into that editor, or when you do go into it, maybe you don't really look into it properly, or you miss bits. So with videos like this, I'm hopefully going to teach you how to use it and how to have a bit of fun with the editor. Now, we like to have a play around with the game. Some of us do, and you may feel like you want to have a bit of fun, but you're bored of playing in the big leagues. Maybe you'd like to improve a nation, make a nation amazing. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to improve a nation and its league so it can become one of the top leagues in the world and you can have an interesting, fun save. So let's get into it. Well, here we are with the pre-game editor. If you haven't got this already, just go to Steam. You can download it from there. It's totally free and it is the best tool to change anything you want within the game of Football Manager. Now, like I said, you may be from a smaller country, maybe from Wales or Scotland or one of the Irish countries, and you want to make it on the same level as England or even better than England. Maybe from a small country around the world. Maybe you just want to have a bit of fun with a small country and you want to put the building blocks in place to grow that nation, or you just want to instantly make that nation better and give yourself a fun save. So that's all we're going to do. So here we are on the main page of the editor. So all you've got to do is go down on the database section and select nations. Once we're on this, go to add condition, select name. Now, I'm English, I'm part German, but I'm also part Scottish. My granddad was Scottish, so I'm going to use Scotland for this experiment. I've got a lot of Scottish viewers, and I'm going to try and put Scottish nation above England. I'm going to try and boost its league, and I'm just going to show you what I do to do that. So all you've got to do is type in Scotland into here, nice and easy. It'll come up, select Scotland, and here we go. This is the main page. Let's get into it. So firstly, you could change anything. You could change the country's name if you wanted. We're not going to do anything like that, but we are going to change some things on this page. Now, if we look at the reputation here, the game's given them the reputation of 5,500. Let's just compare that with a couple of other countries. So, for example, this is the old enemy, England. Theirs is 7,050. And you've got a country like Brazil, whose reputation is 9,150. We'll make it better than that, eh? So we're going to change the rep because we're going to make Scotland amazing. That's the whole point of this. But hopefully you'll get some tips along the way to alternate depending on what you want to do. So I'm just going to delete that and we're going to go for 9,200. So we're 50 better. Next up, go to the information tab, and if you want to make this country awesome, I always change its economic factor. So it's 19 because it's part of Britain, we're a decent country, but I'm going to change that to 20. FA financial power, it's on 0, so that'll probably give it a random number, I don't know why. I'm going to change that to 20. Now, years to gain nationality. This is how you can make your league awesome. Some countries have crazy amounts of years, 10, 13 years. I think Germany's got a lot. Just change it to 1. We want to make the country awesome, don't we? So if we change it to 1, foreigners are going to come into Scotland, play 1 year, and have a good chance of getting a passport. Might help the national team. Might help you with work permits. Anyway, so there we go. Does not allow dual nationality. We'll leave that empty. Allow multiple assistant managers. We'll keep that. Why not? Going to keep that. Maximum youth age, we'll keep that. Developed state, that is the best one. Obviously, you can, depending on where you are in the world, you can change that if you want it to become a third world country or a developing state, but we want it to be quality. Game importance, very important. I think if you went to America, theirs isn't, countries that play football or soccer might not have that as very important. It might just be important or unimportant because they like other sports, but it's the best sport ever. So there you go, very important. Worldwide governing body member, we're going to keep that. All these we're going to keep, I think, apart from down here. Now, the ranking points I'm going to leave that for now because I kind of like the idea of the country being great, having lots of money, and we're going to change a few other things, but also growing a bit. But here we are on foreign manager likelihood, right? Do you want any old manager coming in? Personally, why not? We want the best managers. So yeah, why not? FA Patience, 15, we'll leave that. Now the youth rating, this is the kind of youth players that are going to come through. So this is the way the game can tell the difference between Scotland's players coming through and Brazil's. Again, we'll have a look at 2 other countries. England's is only on 120, and you get some good regens / new gens coming from England. But the reason there's so many Brazilian superstars is theirs is set on 163. So again, we'll do better than that. Now, I'm not going to get too excited. I'm not going to get too giddy, but we're going to be better than Brazil. Of course we are. It's Scotland. I'm going to go for 180. Next, we're on to tactical attributes, and it's all blank for some reason, but I'm going to fill this out, and we'll come back to it. So I filled it out. Just pretty random, really. I've not thought about it too much. Again, this is the kind of thing when you do stuff like this, you just tailor it to what you want, your specifics. The formations, I hate every single one of them. I hate them all, especially that 4-5-1. Is that how Scotland play? Let's go for a good old 4-2-3-1 wide. Right. I'm going to leave that like that. Staff and players. Again, it depends how good you want your national team to come straight out of the blocks, really. Now, we could think of someone awesome. Don't matter. Did it have to be Scottish? I reckon we put a big guy in charge. See if he can get the ball rolling. So I've put Allegri in charge, ex-Juventus manager. He's having a bit of a holiday. I know he's not Scottish, but I really want the country to get off to a flying start with a top class manager. Why not? I'm going to leave the rest of the staff though. Next is on to relationships. I'm leaving this. I want to keep it natural. But again, this is something if you're building your own nation, or maybe you're going to take over. You could take over Luxembourg. I've done that in the past. I've changed their name to make it into a fantasy country of my own. And then you can sort out your own rivals that way. But because we're improving an actual country like Scotland, these are the kind of things I'll leave untouched. Now, the next few things I will leave untouched. Leave that. Obviously, leave languages. It's transfers and contracts. And this is quite important. When you want to improve a country, there's a few things here we need to sort out. Now, you can add preferences for that country. So say like sometimes you'll be in a specific country and they sign a lot of players from another country. That'll be set in the editor here. Now, Scotland doesn't have anything set, which I think is quite cool. Leave it blank and you've got no preferences. You'll sign players from anywhere. And I like that idea. I want them to be a great country. I don't want them to be limited. I want them to just go for it. It's this one, transfer values. Now, this is where the game decides how a player's worth. So you can sometimes sign a player, don't you? As soon as you bring him to the Premier League, he's worth a shit ton of money, even though he hasn't actually improved. That's because he's come to England. Or you could find a great player in Argentina and a great player in Brazil, and they're exactly the same, but the Brazilian costs way more than the Argentinian. That's because of this section here. So if you look here, you can see all the attributes. Players who are only going to be 50 max potential. If we go all the way down to a top player, it's left that blank, but the minimum's 15 million on a 150. So let's just think of that. 141 to 150 in Scotland, a player would be worth 15 million. Let's compare that to England. It's double. Same player. He's got the same potential, same ability, is worth double the amount in England. So you got a top class player in Scotland. You don't want to be making this great league, and you've got this top class player, and all these big clubs from other countries are going to come in and put in crazy bids. You want them to be valued in Scotland the same they would be valued in England or Italy or Germany or France. So I tend to just copy a country like England and maybe improve it as such. So I've copied England slightly, but I've kind of increased it at the end, and I've definitely increased it towards the back end where the attributes are low. This might help put other countries coming in because they're going to have a player there and think, well, they're more expensive in Scotland for the same kind of player. Might help keep the talent in the country. The next up is weekly wage values, and this is a similar thing too. So these are the weekly wage values in Scotland, and it's left the end blank. I mean, the last one they've got again is on 150 max potential player. Let's again compare it to England. So in Scotland, it's 15 grand. In England, it's 50. So again, I'm going to copy this. You want to make it like if you're a 150 max player, you're going to be getting around 50 grand in England. In Scotland, you might get 60. 65. So that's what I want to do. So it's more beneficial for you to go and play in Scotland and stay in Scotland. And hopefully it keeps the talent there, builds the talent up, and makes it not only competitive with the countries like England, France, Germany, Italy, Spain, makes them better. So there you go. I've improved quite a lot of it. I've left a lot of the lower level ones, but I've got some top end players. You're going to get roughly paid more playing in Scotland than you would in England now. Now, skip sponsorship because I don't understand it 100%. I'll be completely honest with you. Like in England, it's blank. In Scotland, it's not. So I've just blanked it off. So England's the same as Scotland. I'm guessing that might make it more generic to what the country is instead of having it set. So forget that. We're going on to tax rules now. When you go on it, you look at it and you think, what? There's a lot of complex tax. Obviously, you pay a lot of tax in countries like the UK, and it is the same in England because obviously we're part of Britain. So what I tend to do is I'll just get rid of it all apart from one, right? So if we just highlight the majority of that down to there, then once it's all cleared, just go back to add, and I just leave income tax. Forget all the other stuff. Don't make it too confusing, in my opinion. So I'll leave the lower amount 0 and the upper amount, just in case the wages increase, I've gone for 500, right? That's grand a week, okay? And then I'll leave that. And then here, you could put something silly like 5. So they're earning £500,000 a week or anything, whatever they earn, they're only going to be paying 5% tax, income tax, and leave it at that. It's got to be beneficial. I think it is. Is it really? I'm not sure if it really would make a difference when players are thinking about moving to Scotland, England, or France, or wherever. But you'd like to think so. When it comes to the country now, I think I'm done. As long as you've improved the youth, you've improved the country's economical situation, changed the taxes, that's pretty much it. But you're probably thinking, oh, it's all well and good here now, having all this money, paying all these wages, being able to attract all these players. But it's Scotland. I mean, you've got Glasgow Rangers and Glasgow Celtic, but they're not massively, massively rich. So this is what you've got to do. Go back to the main page where the database is and all these lovely selections there. Go to competitions. Now, I've already searched it. Just go up to add condition, name, type in Scott, and you get all the Scottish competitions. If we click on the Scottish Premier League, here we are now. We need to change this first and foremost. So don't change the name. You can if you want. You can call it whatever you want. Anything you want. But I'm going to keep all that the same until we get down to reputation. So the reputation of the Scottish Premier League is 134. The max is 200. Let's have a look at the Premier League. And we want to be equal, but no, we don't. We want to be better than the Premier League. And the Premier League is on 177. So all the top leagues in the world are nowhere near 200. So if we go back to Scotland, let's make it 199. So that is by far the highest rep league, pretty much competition, I think, in the world. How good's that? Trophy type, we'll leave that. Extra officials, why not? Keep going down here now. It's a domestic top division. Don't change any of that. The number 1 means it's the top level. When it comes to its league system, it's the number 1 league. That lets the game know that. Uses squad numbers, pitch lengths, leave all that. You can have your win. You can pick your winter ball colour. It's selected on yellow. You can have a pink one. You can have it whatever you want. Do you want to use goal line technology? Now they don't, but for this, just to show you, I'm going to select, yeah. Next up, you want to select teams, and as soon as you look at the teams, it brings up every team that's in the league. If we click the reputation there, you'll see. If you watched any of my other videos, especially my create a club video where we make a Premier League team, I think the top 2 teams in the Prem are Man City and Liverpool, and their reputation is 9,000. So we want to aim at that. And this is where you can tailor it. Now, you're probably thinking, God, I've got to go for every team. It's going to take forever. I can't be asked, but I really want to do it. There's a lot you can do in one go. Now, it all depends on how you want to do it. Now, for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm just going to make everyone the same, right? But if you've got the time and the effort and you want to do it, you can really tailor this league and give it a right good boost. But if you just want to do it all nice and easy or do it in groups, this is how you do it. Just select there, go all the way down. Now we've got every team selected. Then go down to here and press edit. Now it brings you up on this weird page, right? Where it looks like familiar to things you know, but it's not. Anything you can see, you can change, and it will change it for every single team I've got selected. So if you want to do it in groups, maybe you want to make 3 groups in the league, a really rich group, a medium group, and a shit group. Or you want to give everyone a ton of money. This is how you do it. So we want this league now to become awesome. So even though it's blank, if I put in there 20 morale, and I put reputation in there, 9,000, every single team now has got that. So we're now on the finances in general tab. I'm going to make these clubs mega rich. I'm not going to give them billions. We're going to keep it, well, we're going to make them rich, but we're going to keep it sort of reasonable-ish. So I'm going to give them about 700 million. I like number 7. Eric Cantona, or number 7. So did Cristiano Ronaldo. Transfer budget, we're going to give it them all. Spend the lot, boys. Maximum wage. Now, this is how much they can earn a week. So, I think Ronaldo's on £1 million a week, but I don't think we can do £1 million. I think we'll just keep it on the 7s, eh? So, I mean, I won't mind 700 grand a week. There we go. And then, remaining wage budget. This is how much they've got left to buy. So, you want to try and give them as much as they can. So, not sure how much it'll let us. Let's try. Can we get away with 20 million? To spend on wages to improve that squad? No. Won't let me have that. Right, okay. Let's try 15. Yeah, right, that's pretty cool, isn't it? That's enough. You can bring in some talent and keep growing there. Obviously, if you want to put your club in administration, you can do that. We ain't doing that. I talked about this. This is the embargo stuff on my creator club. Now, we've selected all the teams. So some teams will have debt. Some teams might be paying stadium rental, and that'll be on 0. I found the best thing to do is to just make sure they're all paying, say, £1, and then change it again, and it'll change it for all of them then to 0. I don't know why, that's just how I do it. Maybe you don't have to. So if we do average ticket, we'll go for 60 quid. Well, I'll get this money in. Average season ticket, 800 quid. That should change them all, really, it should. Number of season ticket holders, 25,000. We'll just keep it nice and average like that. Some stadiums that probably aren't even that big. And then if we just go down here, and yeah, I think we leave all that. Now you go into other income, this way you do all your sponsorship. And again, big clubs, Rangers, Celtic probably got loads. And then maybe you go to a smaller club and they've hardly got any, and different values and all that. So the best thing I always found out, if I just add one and clear it, it'll clear everybody's. Now everyone in that league has got no sponsorship. So I'm going to fill out a couple. Get back to you. So I've only given them 2. You can go to town on this. It's completely up to you. But we've got a kit sponsor over 4 years, which will give us 25 million a season. And then total commercial income of 200 million a season guaranteed. This is what I do when I do any of my little experiments on what team to fly out through the leagues. Man City probably have that kind of total commercial income. United have a ton of sponsorship. So, I mean, this is enough. You could really get giddy with it, but I'm leaving it there. Going to finances and debts, again, you can't just clear it. So some teams might have debts, some teams might not, and I want them all to have cleared debts. So to highlight that, if you add something, this blank thing has then been added to all them teams. And if I clear it, now all debt throughout the entirety of the top division has been cleared. Now this is another thing you can maybe help the country grow and make all the clubs have the same vision, that the vision of being the biggest and the best in the world. So again, if I add, we'll go there and I clear it. Now, if you really want to put the time in, you, like I said, you can go into each club individually and give them different visions. Some might want to use a youth academy, some might want to sign high profile players, but for the purpose of this tutorial, we're just going to add something like be the most reputable team in the world. Every team in Scotland wants to be the freaking best. Also, sign high reputation players. I'm just trying to make them awesome. So there we go. If I select that, so every team now in that league wants to be freaking amazing. Tactical attributes, I've left that. Keeps it a bit more individual, but again, that's something you can tailor depending on what you want to do. So put a profile. Maybe if you change that to 20, every fan base in Scotland is now rich. The rest, leave it to be a bit more natural. Contract types, you don't have to touch that. Now, we started on the finances. I want to show you about the money, but there's a lot of other things we need to do. If you go straight back up to the top, while you've still got them all selected, and select Stadium General. This is where you can give everything a boost. So at first, I'm just going to make sure everyone's got top facilities. So if we just change all this to 20. Again, attendances, I might leave that, but if we change max attendances to 80, all these teams now, I've got 80,000 fans at least, maximum attendance. So they all should be able to start using that money to improve stadiums and build new stadiums as the years go on, because I want them to be good, but it's also good to let it evolve as you play through the seasons and start seeing teams growing stature, grow the finances, build brand new stadiums. And again, this is something you could do. You could go through every single team and build them a new stadium if you wanted to, or you could just do this. So I'm going to leave all that and just leave it like that. So now when we go back to the Scottish Premiership, on the team section, you'll see they've all got 9,000 rep. They've all got 700 million in the bank, 700 million to spend, and lots of money left to spend on wages. Now, there's the one thing when you do this, and the one thing where it won't be able to compete with such leagues like the Premier League, is the Premier League has high prize money. So does the Bundesliga, countries like that. We can't change that here. If you just want to have a bit of fun and do this, you can't change it. To do that, you'd have to go into this section. Back on the main page. Now, this is really for another video, and I'm going to make another video, but I just want to quickly show you why I'm not doing it on this video. If you go up to rules, you can add nation rules. If we click on add nation rules, here is where you can create a new league and all its new system. And we're talking prize money, the time they play on TV, all that stuff. So I'm just going to quickly show you. If I select nation, current nations, and we go down to Scotland, eventually, Scotland, and go on next, it gets complex. This is when you start selecting the date the league starts. You can change all the dates. You can give them winter breaks, and it gets, transfer rules, the kind of money they're going to make. Like I said, this is when you're building a nation from scratch, and I'm talking all the rules, all of them. I'll do that in another video. Now, of course, you don't just want to do the top flight league. Teams are going to come up and down. You want to do all the other stuff. So we're going to do the cup competitions. So here we are in the Scottish Cup, and all I'm going to do is improve its reputation. Let's go for 190. Don't forget they have another cup, the Betfred. So if I click on that, again, this is like the League Cup. So we'll just go for 175, and this just makes sure the competitions are up there as the best in the world. Players want to play in them. Now, if we go back to the competition section on the main page where we had typed in Scotland, and don't forget you've got all the other leagues, and you can improve them, and I would do. I'm not going to do it now, but you'll go into the Scottish Championship, for example, click on teams, select them all again, go into edit down here, give them some money, boost their reputation, filter it right down through Scotland, so you've just not got this one elite league. But again, like I said, I will show you in another video in the future how to build a nation, because you can really change it. You can create 2 new leagues and have 2 massive leagues in Scotland instead of 4 little ones. There's a lot more you can do with that. We'll get around to that someday. And make sure when you're finished that you go up to File, Save Data Editor. I'm going to save it as Scotland. There we go, nice and easy, save. Once you load the game up, don't forget when you select your databases to make sure you've got everything else unchecked. So anything other databases, get rid of them. And keep your name fixes on if you've got name fixes like me. Go down to Scotland, make sure that's checked and confirm. So I've loaded up the game and I've loaded up Scotland. And even though we've improved the reputation, they're still only 51st in the world, because it's going to take time to build that quality, to start getting them youth through. And it is the kind of thing you do if you want to put years into a save, and you'll just watch the country grow and grow and grow and grow. And if you put more effort into it, more money, more sponsorship and so on, the clubs will just be richer and stay rich. You can see though they've got Allegri as their manager. Let's have a look at a few of the teams. If we go on to Rangers, instantly you'll see that they are rich. If we go on to their general page, obviously none of this will change apart from the ticket prices have now changed. Facility-wise, everything is state of the art, and that should be the same for everybody. There's Ross County, St Johnstone, And if we go on their general profile page, you'll see they're rich too. Now, obviously, they've still got all the same managers, the same staff. But this is what I love about this, because as you do play, you'll start noticing big managers coming in. You'll start getting the Jurgen Klopps and Jose Mourinho's. I did it with Gibraltar. You can definitely do it with a country like Scotland. And as the years roll on, honestly, the nation will just grow. And it's just a fun little thing you can do to have a bit of fun with a game. And that's what this game is all about. It's about having fun. If we go on to the Premiership, you'll see instantly now, because we improved its reputation, it's the #1 league in the world. That might drop as you play the first few years because they haven't actually got the players yet. But it will grow because the teams will start spending that money. Low tax, they can give high wages, they can pay the wages, and they'll start improving. And you'll notice they'll start getting better stadiums. Seriously, it is a good little thing you can do, man. And I highly recommend you have a go. So there we go. That is the end of how to improve a nation. It is like the basic way of doing it, but hopefully I've inspired you to delve into the editor if you're a bit scared of it and have a bit of fun. Maybe you want to do it with San Marino or anywhere. You can do it with any country in the world. If you just follow those steps, you can have a lot of fun. Like I said, there is another way you can do it where you add nation rules and you can completely rebuild it from scratch. We're talking restructure the leagues, the competitions, add new competitions. You can really go into depth with that. But that is a huge video. That is something I will put together in the future if you really want to do that. But it'll be a while before I can make that video. For now, try this out, have some fun, and thank you for watching. Hopefully, if you're new, you will subscribe and you go and check out my other videos, especially my Tame Valley FC Let's Play, or even some of my rebuilds or some of my stories. But I just appreciate you watching this. So thank you. Hit that thumbs up. I'm Bood. Hope you're happy. Hope you're safe. And I'll see you next time.